Beaver fans, and welcome back to another episode of Meet the Beavers. As always, I'm your host, Cole Clementich, back in the place where all the magic happens in the Sports Information Office. We're glad to have you guys back here on board. Another week, another new guest on board here, as we're going to get started right away here. And this Scottsdale, Arizona outfielder is now an upperclassman for Minot State Beaver softball and hit over 300 this past week in the spring break games in Branson, Missouri. Joining us now is Sara Van Wickler. Sara, thanks for being on the show today. How are you?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, let's get right into it. I mentioned it, got into it a little bit, but how was your spring break? Obviously, you played a bunch of games there. Just tell us how it go.
It was really warm. It was nice to get out of Minot, the cold, and get some nice sun. A lot of us got burnt, so that was really nice to see, especially in early March. Spring break was a good time for our team to really bond and build some new connections with girls maybe we haven't had that relationship with. But overall, we had a great time. Went 5-3. Close games most of the time if we did lose. So overall, it was great. Great experience.
Yeah, it had to have been a nice long road trip, like you said, a little bonding experience, with the other players on the team there. How was that? Like you said, getting away from Minot a little bit, getting some time. What all did you guys do, besides, competing in games, of course? What did you guys do down there, away from the field?
So, we were lucky enough to get an Airbnb. So, a lot of us were sharing rooms, having a good time, sleeping on air mattresses. We just kind of made it work, with the house. There's a movie room, so we had team watch parties of The Bachelor. We had campfires. We had a cookout with the parents. Overall, just good peaceful time. Even in breakfast, when we're making breakfast, we all just were in the kitchen cooking, had some music playing. Overall, it was great.
You mentioned parents. Did any of them come join you guys on the road trip, or are there some that live in Missouri?
So, I know for sure one family lives in Missouri, so they made the road trip down. But obviously, I'm from Arizona. My mom flew in. My mom loves to come, and my dad too. But both my parents love to come watch me play any opportunity they get. So, technically, I would say it was cooler for them because right now it's 90 in Arizona or 95. So. I know a lot of the other parents did come from across the nation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was good to see some friendly faces too.
To be thinking of in 90-degree weather right now, but we're not quite there yet. Obviously, it should be here pretty soon before you know it. But moving on here, so just kind of briefly tell us, how the season has gone for you and for the team.
Obviously with a team full of a bunch of girls, there's going to be some ups and downs. We had a 0-6 streak in Topeka, which was really hard for our team. And we basically had an entire culture reset from there. And since then, it's been smooth sailing. It's been amazing. Obviously working through the bumps, of our season. And other than that, it's honestly been going pretty good. We start our first conference game is this weekend. We might be playing outside, so it's really exciting.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Oh yes,
yep.
Please. But yeah, overall I would say we're pretty locked in. We're ready to go. So
nice. Good to hear. And so, for you in particular, you've been here for 3 years now. So, how much have you grown and how much has the campus have grown or changed since you first started here?
Oh my gosh, I've grown so much. Truthfully, my freshman year was really rough. I went through a lot of interesting experiences that have shaped me to who I am today, through softball, through friends, through life. Freshman year was just really hard, so basically it's just been working up slowly through there. But, just softball and school at the same time consistently is really hard. I would say most athletes can attest to that, but I would say just honing in, knowing who I am, knowing what I can do, and trying to let stuff kind of take it off the chin, off the shoulder, whatever. Like water off a duck's back, just let it slide.
There you go. I like that. I've never heard that one before.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah.
So just kind of like working through those tough patches, trying to stay afloat is really kind of how it's been. Just I'm really busy all the time, so trying to find free time too is just a little scarce. So
yeah, we'll get into more of that a little bit later on here. Yeah, like the busyness of the schedule, but one change that was made, since you first started, the home turf for MSU softball got a big upgrade. The Shields South Hill softball complex. How cool is it to see revamped and all the changes that were made over there?
So when I got here my freshman year, it was still kind of in the building phases. It was kind of weird. When I came on my official, I think 2 years prior, it was just flat. So seeing it go from just flat turf, nothing, to like a full complex with sound and a locker room, it's really, honestly, so beautiful to see. It's one of my favorite parts of our complex just because it's so beautiful. But I truly love it. I'm so blessed and thankful to have that new complex. So.
Oh yeah, and a job well done to Thor Nelson and all the crew over there. They did a fantastic job. Obviously the construction workers too, a big shout out to them. And it's a beautiful complex. And even before then, Minot was able to host all kinds of softball tournaments, West regions. Now state tournaments are in the equation now, so that's a lot of good stuff over there happening. Especially once the warm weather starts to roll, and it's going to start, feeling really like softball season. But yeah, and for how tough it is with the snow. Obviously, we just got some this weekend. Unfortunately, do you have a preference, for either playing there or in the bubble? Is it just kind of whatever, roll with the punches? I guess. What do you think?
So obviously, I've always played outside growing up. I've played year round. I've been fortunate enough with the warm weather in Arizona, so like coming here and playing in the bubble for the first time was really strange. But I truly love playing in the bubble. If I had to choose, I would play outside, unless it's frigid cold and I'm freezing my little boots off. But I would say inside, probably.
No, totally get it, yeah. And you guys started early, like late January we're talking. And, what was the feeling like in preparation for the new season? How anxious were you guys, that like say going to bed the night before?
Yeah, honestly, like even as a junior, like I was anxious about opening day just because we got back from winter break later this year, so we had basically 2 weeks to prepare before we started playing. So as soon as we got back, we were just hit the ground running from there. So having that 2 week period was really frantic for us, but honestly, once opening day came, I would say, all like the freshmen get their early jitters. Seniors are like, oh, it's our last first official game day. So just really feeling all the emotions the next day was awesome. I was a little nervous the night before, I'm not going to lie. But I feel like everybody kind of gets that feeling. So.
Yeah, before we preview the conference games upcoming this weekend, let's talk about classroom life. So tell us about, your major and, what are some classes that you take on the daily here on campus?
So I'm a psychology major, addiction studies minor.
Nice.
So fun. Truly, I love my teachers. I genuinely love the classes I'm taking, but some of them can be a bit challenging. Last semester, I took abnormal psychology, cognitive psychology. This semester, I'm taking advanced counseling. Last semester I took intro, so it's a lot of more mind classes. You have to really use your brain to think. So that definitely tires me out a little bit, but the teachers are all amazing. They make life easy, so it's not too bad. Not awful.
Very interesting. Yeah, I might, I'm going to give a little shout out to my guy, Derek Olson. He started a podcast recently called Thought Mining, and I think it's kind of on that psychology sector. So yeah, it's really fascinating subject for sure. And good stuff there. So got your majors selected out there. Let's talk also some campus life. I hear you're also an MSU Life member. Tell us about that.
So, I would like to say that I'm very involved on campus. I like to run a tight schedule. I don't like to have free time, which makes my life a little bit more difficult. But I'm part of MSU Life, and for those that don't know, it's just on-campus activities. I've been in a leadership position for that, for the club for the last 3 years. I just got rehired my senior year, so that's really exciting.
Perfect.
So I'll be entertaining. So come to the events if you're a Minot State student. You'll see a friendly face, but that's got me on my toes. That keeps me really busy. I'm also a senator in SGA, so going to meetings and writing reports, basically speaking for the students. So adding that on top of it really keeps me going. I'm also the vice president of our psychology club, PASC, Psychology Addiction Studies Club. Oh, I'm not done.
Oh boy.
So having like bi-weekly meetings, talking about stuff, getting involved with my teachers and other psychology students. So if you're a psychology student, come to our meetings.
She's your gal. Yeah.
I'm currently vice president right now. We're just holding re-election, so hopefully I get reelected, but we'll see. And lastly, I'm also doing student research. So I'm in the lab a lot, running experiments, doing student-led research. Working on an ADHD project right now that's taking up a lot of my time as well. So, which is where I'm going right after this. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Unless I add something, probably not likely.
Do you have room for something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a hard time taking a chill, but.
I mean, we just got done talking about softball for 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot on your plate, but it looks like you're having a lot of fun doing it. Certainly, taking advantage of what campus has to offer. That all that is nice and fun there, Sara. Is there a favorite event you like to host with MSU Life at all?
So many good ones, but my go-to is probably casino night, just because, I feel like everybody gets really competitive about wanting to make money. Like, you're getting free money. Free money. You're not actually getting free money, but you get free chips. You get to play. It's fun to kind of wager for free. You get a lot of different people there too, and it's a more sit-down, intimate event, not the chaos of a bingo or a 500 ways to win. So I personally love it. This last time I sat out and I just kind of was walking the room, but it's I love casino night. It's one of my favorites.
Casino night. Well, I'll look forward to one of those down the line. You might see Sara giddy and getting involved. I don't know. What do you guys play? Poker or
poker, blackjack, roulette.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff there, Sara. And now let's talk. Before we send you off here, some big games this weekend. Now starting conference season.
Yes.
I believe Wayne State's on the docket. I think Sioux Falls as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that. The goal. I guess the plan right now I hear is outside at the South Hill Complex. Just preview that a little bit and. How excited are you guys to get back out there on the home turf?
I think all of us are really excited. Right now we're just kind of pushing through the last burnout's not the right word, but the aches of, I guess, the last couple of weeks. In Topeka, Branson, we played 8 games in 4 days. So some of our bodies, especially mine, are kind of hurting a little bit right now, but just kind of preparing our bodies, for the upcoming weekend. We also are really excited to play outside. Hopefully we don't get moved back in. But with the unpredictable weather, we're not really sure yet. Right now it's looking like outside, so hopefully we're on the right track. But I think all of us are just kind of really amping up this week, especially because it's conference play. This is what matters right now. So we play Wayne and Sioux Falls this weekend. We're not going to take them lightly. Obviously, with softball, games can go either way. So just mentally preparing for that game, getting in the right mindset, focusing on what we need to work on as a team, being there together as one. It's honestly all we can ask for. But we're excited. So
that's good.
If you're not doing anything, come out. Come support us.
Come support MSU softball this weekend. And Sara, it seems like you're already an ambitious person. Do you have any future goals or aspirations, post-college life, post-softball? Anything that comes to mind at all?
I mean, honestly, grad school. I want to be a forensic psychologist. If that doesn't work out, just a regular old therapist or even a psychiatrist, but I don't really want to go to med school right now. So trying to figure that part out. I have a career path, but just right now, the only thing on my agenda is continuing to get good grades, working hard in school, sending out grad apps, going to grad school, then working from there. So
I know other people's preferences are different, but I've found, for me, easier time with online asynchronous classes. So if you ever get that option, do consider it and take a look at it, of course. But hey, before we get you out of here, anything else you want to mention to the fans watching at home?
Thank you for supporting Minot State softball. We wouldn't really be here without you guys. And even honestly, just athletics itself. I will say, shout out to Thor, because truthfully, Minot State softball would not be where it is today without Thor. So I just want to send my flowers to him. Shout out my coaches. They're great. To keep the vibe going, they push us. But honestly, just thank you for your support. It really means a lot to not only me, my team, but also everyone else. So.
And Sarah, would thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
There you have it, folks. Beaver fans, that was junior outfielder Sara Van Wickler of the Beavers softball team joining us today to give us her story, how the season's going for the softball team, and of course, upcoming games this weekend against Wayne State and Sioux Falls. Again, hoping that it is outside, so for good weather, hoping for good weather, and if it is at the Shields Complex, we hope to see you guys there. But until then, this has been another episode of Meet the Beavers. I'm your host, Cole Clementich, signing off again. Wishing you guys a good rest of your week. Take care as always. We'll see you down the line.